back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to get started with progressive web apps. So this is a simple vanilla HTML CSS JavaScript project which I have created, and I will go through the initial setups for the project. But to show you guys the output first, it is a simple calculator app, and it has one index.html page, and there is another page called info.html, and you can perform calculation operation. Again, this is not really important as this is outside the scope. Like, it can be any page. Like, instead of this calculator you can do your own thing. That doesn't really matter. Also I will show you. If you go to inspect, I have a service worker running. So if you go to application service worker, here you can see, and to have a service worker running, make sure you are using a web server. If you are using VS Code, you can use the live server extension to host your vanilla HTML CSS JavaScript on a web server. If you are using a web framework like Angular, React, Vue, they by default come with a web server, so you don't have to worry about it, because this service worker thing requires a web server. Also, if you see my lighthouse, if you click on desktop, if you click progressive web app and analyze page load, there are some issues with progressive web app setup for the initial setup, and we will resolve it in future videos. But I just wanted to show you that okay, this app does has some PWA things going on, but there are some issues. Okay, now I will just go through the source code for the app. So firstly, I have index.html, and the important part is I have added this link for Bootstrap, because I'm using Bootstrap. There is this title, and here I have added my own style.css, linking of my old style.css, as well as I have added the script for our calculation.js file. And this inside body, do your own thing, it doesn't have to be same as mine. Okay, next, inside info.html, again a simple file, same thing as previous one. Here you can see I have added this sorry, I forgot, I think, to add this link rel manifest over here, so I'll just quickly add this. Okay, now again I think what we can do is we can refresh. It's already refreshed. Okay, I can just click on this, we can analyze page load. Let's see what it gives now. So here you can see we at least got something there, but there are still few issues which are pending. So if you see my index.html, I have added this. Next, if you see calc.js, here I am just registering our service worker, first checking whether service worker is available for that particular browser. If yes, then adding our service worker file. So make sure you always create your service worker inside the at the root of your project and not in any particular folder. And here I have just written our calculation logic. Again, you can ignore this. If you want, you can pause the video and copy paste it if you really want it, but honestly this could be any web app. You don't have to copy all this stuff. You can write your own bit of code as well. Next, if you see, you have to create a file called app.webappmanifest. Here you have to give a name, description, categories, language, short name, background color, theme color, orientation, display, scope, start URL, then a bunch of icons. Okay, by icons of 192 by 192, 512 by 512, 1024 by 1024, and some shortcuts as well. If you want, you can give these shortcuts, not necessary, and some screenshots as well. Next, if you see my icons, here I have added all the icons for badge, icon, 96, 120, all that stuff. And if you see my service worker, so service worker, if you don't know, it is used to cache files, and it runs on its own thread, like a background thread. And here we are caching all the files. So I want to cache info.html, the root file, root folder, calc.js, styles.css, bootstrap, and this unpackaged PWA compat. It is used because we want to provide PWA support for some older browsers as well. and here I'm using install listener. So as soon as so here in this service worker we are following cache first technique with still while revalidate, and every resource is updated in the cache. So if you make any changes, double reload your web app as well. And here on installation we are just opening our calculator cache and then returning all the URLs. And for fetch listener, what we are doing is that we are calling caches.match event.request, and even if the response is in the cache, we fetch it and update the cache for further usage. So that's what we are doing over here. And if you see, we are using the same key over here as well. And yeah, that's it. So if you remember, we were facing an issue for on Lighthouse, so I had to add this meta tag as well for theme color, so that will help to resolve this change which you have to make to have this install button which you see on Google Chrome. Is because I am using live server and progressive web app should only be served on HTTPS, and we are doing local development, right? So we only have HTTP. So instead of typing 127.0.0 whatever the URL live server gives you, instead of that just type localhost colon whatever is the port number /index.html. If you are using a web framework, then by default I think you might be on localhost, but you should type localhost for testing or development purposes. So then you will see this plus button at the top nav bar. So if I try to reload it, here you can see I'm not sure where did it go. So here you can see it has this plus button. So if I click on plus, I can add the app. So if I click on install, here you can see my progressive web app, and also at the bottom there is a separate app been displayed. It is not part of Chrome. I can quit as well, and here you can see these are the shortcuts for it. If I click on quit, and I can search for it as well. So my app name is Super Calculator. So here you can see, click on open, my app is opened. If you are curious what this theme color is, this theme color is basically if you are trying to install it on a mobile device, if you the status bar which you see at the top of your mobile device where the battery icon, the the time is being displayed, so that is the theme color which you want to set for your progressive web app. We also need to add this link preload app.web manifest. This is mostly used for Safari web browser to reduce installation issues. So is you have to add this meta tag of theme dash color, and it should be the same color which you have defined it inside your app web manifest file. But do notice that inside the web manifest file we are using theme underscore color, but index.html we have to use theme dash color. Next, so mostly used for this is mostly used on the mobile app, and for iOS or Apple devices, to change the status bar color you can use something like this, and instead of so the content is the white, is basically a color, but there can be only three types of colors: white, black and black translucent. Don't try to add any other color, it won't work.